What's up, everybody? Shauna D Man here. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys had yourselves a great weekend. We are back with another little fun short video, diving into some more Star Wars related stuff. Obviously, as we know, Star Wars Starfighter comes out, I believe May of 2027. And then the other day, I want to say maybe like last Wednesday or Thursday, Screen Rant dropped an article talking about how Starfighter is secretly a uh is setting up the Rey Skywalker movie trilogy. The best way to put it. Obviously, at the end of the Rise of Skywalker back in 2019, it seemed like Disney has consistently tried to get this Rey movie off the ground and running, changing directors after directors after directors. Let me see. I think, or not directors, but maybe screenwriters. Um, Let me double check. Da, da, da. I know it's like a big deal because a lot of people talked about it. All right, so there have been multiple changes to directors. Um, Trying to find if there's like a list because I don't remember who it all was. Mm, let's see who was it. Charmin Obey Chinoy was one. Oh, it was writers. It was writers. So that's who it was. So the writers side of it has changed. You know, had like Stephen Knight and been mentioned as working. I swear, I thought there was more. There's some other. There were like a few other people who have been attached to the project, but this is a project that they have been trying to get off the ground for a couple of years now. And here's the thing: like whether you like Ray or not, like I don't see this movie potentially doing well. Even if it did well, I don't think it fixes the issue within the Star Wars fandom or generally Lucasfilm, Disney as a whole was the way they go about um, the Star Wars project and brand. I I don't have a problem with Ray. Now there are some characteristics that when they were designing her and what they were doing, I don't really like. I had because when the sequel trilogy came out was The Force Awakens. It seemed like, and a lot of people probably feel the same way. It seemed like they were setting up John Boyega's Finn to be um, a Jedi, or at least Force sensitive, but mainly the Jedi of the story, and that was a very interesting point right there. Even the movie itself kind of has that little dilemma in it because you're looking at a stormtrooper who then goes against the First Order and ultimately becomes a Jedi. It's a very interesting story right there. But obviously, not really the case when it comes to Rey. And obviously, there are some things about the character that they kind of quit. They like she was able to just do stuff without the training. She was able to mind trick a First Order trooper with no training whatsoever on how to do it. Um, the lightsaber fight at the end of the movie. I think the book talked about how whenever what did that book say? There was a book that came out. Let's see. I think they explained it. Um, Let me see if I can find it real quick. Uh, Let's see. So, all right. So, Rey fought Kylo Ren without formal lightsaber training because she was strong in the Force, which she tapped into instinctively and was a skilled melee combatant from her time on Jakku. That doesn't really. Kylo was also seriously injured and emotionally compromised, which made him vulnerable. Additionally, the mental connection between Rey and Kylo allows her to absorb some of his skills and knowledge. So even then, that's kind of like, eh. But anyway, that's not the point of the video. That was just something I just thought about as I was like getting ready to like make this video was it. But the main focus of it is um the Rey movie. So try to. All right, so is one future Star Wars movie secretly setting up Rey's new Jedi Order? So, from my understanding, for what would have come out, whether you may leaks or something like that, Ryan Gosling's character is protecting a force-sensitive child whose mother is apparently also. I think it's in this article. Who's also a force-sensitive person and a former student of Luke's Jedi Order. So let's read through this article. So at the time of me reading it, this was like published 2 days ago. So this is Screen Rant. All right, Star Wars fans are convinced one upcoming Star Wars movie, Sean Levy's Star Wars Starfighter, is secretly set up to Rey's new Jedi Order movie. The future of Star Wars is taking shape, with next year's The Mandalorian Grogu leading the charge to the big screen. It will be followed in 2027 by Sean Levy's Starfighter, starring Ryan Gosling. Marketed as a standalone Star Wars fighter, it's clearly a big deal for the franchise. 2027 is the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, and this features an all cast. Okay, so let's see, where is it at? The Force has always been part of. I think there's like a specific line or topic here. All right, so Starfighter is set 5 years after Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, and marketing has already hinted at a Force connection. The original animated logo features a flare that's deliberately evocative of the Jedi insignia. We finally learned more when filming began, and Lucas announced Star Wars full cast. I think Amy Adams is in it. Yeah. So we know that the young actor Flynn Gray, Sherlock and Daughter. I don't know what that is. Wednesday. Who is Flynn Gray? I don't know who that is. It said Wednesday. I recently watched Wednesday. This does not. I'm looking at it. I'm just like, I'm looking at it. I'm just kind of like, I don't know who Flynn Gray is. Let me see. Wednesday. What was he? Oh, wait, is this the show? Like the Netflix series Wednesday? Yeah. He played who? Omar. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway. Is playing a force-sensitive teenager hunted by the movie's villain. Amy Adams is his mother, and the latest rumors suggest she is too force-sensitive. In fact, there are suggestions she's a Jedi, perhaps a survivor of Luke Skywalker's Jedi Order. It is not hard to see a pattern here. Many are speculating the movie's plot will mirror that of The Mandalorian's Season 1 and 2, with Ryan Gosling's hero trying to get Grey to the Jedi. If that is the case, then the precise setting 5 years after the sequel trilogy means they're likely heading straight for Rey. All right, Starfighter can't. Okay, so Starfighter can be Rogue One. All right, let's see what it says. Daisy Ridley's return was officially announced at Star Wars Celebration, with Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy to serve as director for a new Jedi Order movie. Plans seem to have been in flux since then, but Rey is considered Star Wars' most valuable cinematic asset. I'm not sure why that is. It's not really like the sequel trilogies aren't really as good as some of the other projects. Like I would put, despite its flaws, I would put Rogue One above a lot of the sequel trilogy. Maybe not Force Awakens, because I feel like that's different, because we went about like 10 years or so without a Star Wars movie in theaters, and there's some other aspects about it as well. So, uh, there have been reports Rey could appear in quite a few upcoming Star Wars movies now. Screenwriter Simon Kinberg. He worked on something. Is now working on a new Star Wars trilogy, which Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy has described as the new saga that moves us into the future. It would make sense for Star Wars to use Starfighter as some sort of Rogue One in reverse, a largely standalone film or story that nonetheless sets up the ongoing saga. All this is only a theory, of course, and Lucasfilm is currently unlikely to confirm it. Starfighter seems to be intended as um, a jumping off point for Generation Z, which means a stress on connectivity and lore would be critical mistake. But the goal is seriously to encourage these new viewers to stick around, and this already planned follow on would be smart. For now, though, the speculation is an exact exciting pointer. I cannot read today for some reason. Exciting for the future, no doubt. Okay, so that's basically it. It seems like there is, I've seen some of these rumors and stuff like that, across the internet and stuff like that. And so I have noticed it. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It could be, it could be something. Again, if the Rey move, because a lot of people are already not really excited for the Mandalorian and Grogu. At least from what I can tell, a lot of people aren't really that excited. And then you have this. Starfighter does sound interesting, but it's one of those things where I gotta wait and see what else happens with it before I have a full oh yeah, this is pretty good. And then the Rey movie again. I have nothing against Daisy Ridley. I think she's an okay actress. You can like the actor and dislike the character that they are portraying. You can clearly do that. They're not the same being. There are two separate entities. One is real, one is fake. So I remember that was like a whole thing with a lot of people where talk about John Boyega, for instance, talking about, nobody liked this character because he was black, and it was just like a lot of stupid stuff. And no, I guess a good example is Rose Tico. People didn't hate the actress. People hated the character. So I don't know. We'll see how this goes. But that is relatively it. Wanted to drop a short little video just going over this little screenrant article talking about, Star Wars I keep want to say Jedi Starfighter for some reason, but Star Wars Starfighter could potentially lead or set up a Rey movie. Obviously, we got about 2 years before that even comes out. I think it's May 2027. So I'm curious so that would probably mean we would get a first trailer because Star Wars Celebration is going to be in California in 2027. So I would not be surprised if we get the first trailer for Starfighter during the 2027 Super Bowl or during the Super Bowl of that year, and then more information about it comes out during Star Wars Celebration, because I think Star Wars Celebration is going to be in April of 2027. So I could potentially see that happening for sure if that's the case, but we'll see. All right, guys, relatively it. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Comment below. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one.